there, Panda Bear, slouched over, just relaxing on this Sunday morning. All right, parents, kids, listen up, especially if you're in high school and you're watching us this morning. As we head further into the school year, high school students and parents are preparing to apply for college. That's right. We are talking about college application season. But don't stress out too much. Don't worry too much, because Dr. Neil McCurdy is with us this morning. He is principal and CEO of the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. Welcome, Dr. McCurdy. Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
My goodness. So college application season is upon us.
It is here. This happens every year. It's a stressful time of year for all students. But you know, hopefully I can be here to help alleviate some of the stress for the families that are involved in this process.
So what's the main thing right off the bat? What's the main thing that that we should be doing as parents to help our students?
Well, so I think the thing that's different this year, or different now from when you and I applied for college, is that this is there's so high stakes now. So there's so many. It's just really difficult to get into college, and you know, we're competing with people from around the world to get into college, and so really the only way that you can guarantee that you're going to get into the school of your choice is by doing a scattershot approach and applying to many different schools. And so all the tips that we're providing today are basically designed to help you manage the stress of applying to lots of different colleges.
So is it good to have like like you say, a tier, a 3-tier of target schools?
Yeah, so you always want to have the top tier school, the one that you're, you know, just kind of your reach school, the one that you really would like to get into. You want to have the school that you're probably going to get into, but you always want to make sure that you have something that you can fall back on. And so that everybody should be looking at 3 different tiers of schools.
That's really good advice, actually. Yeah. I guess you probably shouldn't procrastinate too much. I mean, we need to get on this now, right? Because the deadlines are approaching.
The deadlines are approaching, and so November 30th is actually the deadline for all the UC, Cal State applications. And if you're looking at it now, it's a little bit late to get in the game. Okay. You really want to be making sure that for those students who are thinking about applying next year, you want to make sure that you're asking for those letters of recommendation way in advance. You want to be making sure that you're taking the SATs, the ACTs, and you know, applying to college, it's a big deal, and so you've got to treat it like it's a big deal, and really spend a lot of time up front doing the legwork to make sure that you can get into the school of your dreams.
So in addition to actually you know, filling out the application, if you will, many of the universities and colleges still require you to write an essay. So that's just as important. Yeah,
and so, you know, different schools have different requirements, and so if you're going to take the scattershot approach to make sure that you get into the school of your dreams, you got to make sure that you're keeping on top of all the different essay prompts. You want to make sure that you're bragging about yourself, so we call it the humble brag at our school, and you want to make sure that you know, that you're getting really good letters of recommendation, and that you're keeping on top of all the deadlines.
Wow. That's so. I always like to ask about social media. We're living in a world where everybody is on Facebook, everybody's on Twitter, everybody's on Instagram. Do you know if different colleges and universities actually look at your accounts to see for acceptance? I mean, I always want to just throw that out there. You never know. Should we be cleaning up our kids' accounts?
So this is, as a high school principal, I'm always students about this, because it's not just the college application process, it's also the job application process later in life, and you've really got to be thinking about managing your brand, making sure that you don't have you know, a bunch of things on your social media that shouldn't really be there, that you don't want anyone knowing about. And it's a tough world for kids to navigate, because they're not usually thinking about what's going to happen 20 years in the future. And right now the laws say that if it's out there, then it's free game. And I know that in Europe, for example, they actually are trying to pass laws to have data actually start to expire, and have expiration laws, so that you're not allowed to search in the past. For right now, everything's fair game, and you got to really be careful about that.
That is incredible, and I can't believe the deadlines are already approaching for a lot of the state schools, the UC campuses. My goodness. So don't procrastinate, be organized, and lastly, what would you say to parents out there who are helping their high school seniors or their high school juniors prepare for college and apply to college?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is to have lots of different schools that you're looking at. Don't have your heart set on just one school and focus on that one school, because you know, it's not always guaranteed that you're going to get into that school, and there's a lot of schools out there that want students, and you know, I think one of the mistakes that parents make is they put a lot of stake in what school the student goes to, and it's not actually that important. So we all want to reach for as high as we can go. Being in a Tier 1 school would be awesome, but you know, ultimately what matters is what you do with your education.
Sure.
And so if you get into a Tier 2 or Tier 3 school, you're going to be okay.
And you know what, if I can just say as a parent, I mean, my kids are still very young, but if you are lost and perhaps you don't know how to help your child, or you go to the school, right? Talk to the principal, someone like you, talk to the counselors, have your child reach out to the school counselors, because I'm sure, I mean, you guys know more parents exactly how this process should go.
Yeah, and I'm actually, I'll throw it out there. I'm happy to answer questions too. If anyone wants to reach out to us, you know, saidhi.org, send me an email and I'd be happy to help.
All right, Dr. Neil McCurdy, you're going to get a lot of emails probably. He is principal and CEO of the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. It's a charter school here in San Diego. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming here and just giving us some tips. Very useful information.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, have a great day, and we'll be right back with much more right here on Good Morning San Diego.